There are some factors of teaching principle from the classroom point of view. There are cognitive, affective, and linguistic factors. Today, I will explain to you only the affective factors, so let's check it out. Okay, we move to the second topic. The title is the teaching by principle. And today, I just explain to you about the affective factors. The affective factors are characterized by a large proportion of the emotional involvement, and there are the affective factors. The first is language ego, self-confidence, risk-taking, and the last is language culture connection. The first is language ego. This is the warm and fuzzy principle. As a human being learn to use second language, they also develop a new mode of thinking, feeling, acting, second identity. The new language ego intertwined with the second language can easily create within the learner a sense of fragility, a defensiveness, and rising of inhibition. Based from the Longman Dictionary, language ego is the relation between people's feelings of personal identity, individual uniqueness, and value. For example, their ego, an aspect of their first language. The next is possibilities of bringing relief to the situation and providing effective support. The first is overly display supportive attitude to your student. The second is on a more mechanical lesson planning level. Your choice of techniques need to be cognitively at an effective level. The third is considering learners' language ego stats will help you to determine. The last is students are learning English as second language. They are likely to experience a moderate identity crisis as they develop a second self. Self-confidence. Learners believe that they are fully capable of accomplishing a task is at least partially a factor in their eventual success in attaining the task. The third is risk-taking. Successful language learners in their realistic judgment of themselves as vulnerable beings yet capable of accomplishing tasks must be willing to become gamblers in the game language to attempt to produce and interpret language that is a bit beyond their absolute certainty. How can your classroom reflect the principle of risk-taking? The first is create an atmosphere in the classroom that encourages students to try out language, to venture a response, and not to wait for someone else to volunteer language. Second is provide reasonable challenges in your techniques. Make neither easy nor too hard. The third is help your student to understand what calculated risk-taking is. In case some feel that they may blurt out any old response. And the last is respond to student risk attempts with positive affirmation, praising them for trying while at the same time warmly but firmly attending to their language. And the last is the language culture connection. Whenever you teach a language, you also teach a complex system of cultural customs, value, and ways of thinking, feeling, and acting. The second aspect of the language culture connection is the extent to which your students will themselves be affected by the process of acculturation, which will vary with the context and goals of learning. Acculturation, a process in which change in the language, culture, and system of value a group happens through interaction with another group with a different language, culture, and system of value. In other words, especially in second language learning contexts, the success with which learners adapt to a new cultural milieu will affect their language acquisition success and vice versa in some possibly significant ways. And the last is there are some classroom application. The first is discuss cross-cultural differences. with your student emphasizing that no culture is better than another, but that cross-cultural understanding is an important phase of learning a language. The second is teach your student to culture connotation, especially the social linguistic of language. And the last is screen your techniques for material that may be culturally offensive.